This book is more than a personal reflection. It is also a political act. And in many ways, a social reckoning for all of us. But above all, it is a call to conscience. And how the marginalization and the dehumanization of one community is a threat to the safety and liberty of all. Lukman's work powerfully documents this, as Justice Salim puts it, the Muslim identity has been framed as a threat to societal harmony and used to fuel division for the political and economic gain of a few. In that framing, the Muslims, like many other marginalized communities the world over, they are not just misunderstood. They are put in a dock. We have seen it before. To justify ourselves, to apologize, to prove our loyalty, even our best rights when they go. But this isn't just a Western story. This is also our story. We in Sri Lanka know too well how hatred can be weaponized. We know what happens when identity is politicized, when fear becomes policy, and when entire communities are made to feel foreign in our own land. We saw it in 1983 when it was a Tamil community that was put in the dock. We saw in Adulgaon, we saw in Digadam, and most tragically aftermath of the 2019 Easter Sunday attacks, when grief was hijacked and redirected to justify suspicion, violence, and exclusion of our Muslim community. We have kept seeing and experiencing now a single story, manipulated by powerful voices, can erase the dignity of an entire people. But what have we learned from this? Islamophobia is not a fringe idea. Like you said, it's an industry. It is global. As Muslim in the dock demonstrates, the impact of the prejudice goes far beyond hurt feelings and hostility. It leads to the suffocation of opportunity. It undermines democracy. It erodes or corrodes our sense of common humanity. When we normalize fear and suspicion as instruments of governance and discourse, no one is truly safe. This is why this book matters, my brothers and sisters. Because when Brother Lukman has done through meticulous research, grounded insight, and moral clarity, is to expose the structural and psychological dimensions of Islamophobia while offering a mirror for all societies, wrestling a difference. He writes not only to defend Muslims, but to defend the very principles of democracy, dignity, and peaceful coexistence. He joins a chorus of thinkers and leaders who recognize this book as a bridge between communities and a resource for education and empowerment. But it cannot stop here. Books spark conversations. But it's people that can make a change. I stand here today not only as a governor of this province, but as a Sri Lankan, a Muslim, a father. I'm deeply aware of what it means to live with the burden of suspicion, but also deeply aware of our collective capacity of all of us to do better. Our constitution begins by pledging this to secure all our people the blessings of liberty, the equality and justice. These are not just lofty ideals. They are promises. Promises that must extend to every citizen, regardless of faith, ethnicity, class, gender, or language. And yet, too often in our nation's history, we have failed to deliver on these promises. We have let politics trump principles. We have allowed fear to dictate policy. I believe that we must move away from tolerance to acceptance, from just coexistence to solidarity. Our goal should not only be simply to tolerate each other, but to uplift each other. We must see our diversity not as a threat, but a strength. Not a fracture, but a foundation. So what is the way forward? First, we must speak truth. Whether on parliament or on social media, we must call out hate where it hides, especially when it is convenient not to. Second, we must invest in education, a kind that teaches empathy and critical thinking. Third, all of us, we must build solidarity. Not among or just across ethnic and religious lines, but across every margin where people feel unseen and unsafe. And finally, we must never lose hope. As a poet Rumi once said, the wound is a place where the light enters you. So let this book be the light that enters our national conversation through the wounds of history. Let us remind ourselves that while hatred can destroy, it is only compassion, understanding, and justice that can build. Let us be the generation that truly gets to know one another. For in knowing, we see, and in seeing, we heal. Thank you.